Did Seinfeld influence TV and pop culture? Seinfeld has left an important stamp on the way TV is made and has become a part of our pop culture. Seinfeld consists of four friends sharing normal experiences with bizarre outcomes in New York. The characters are Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, George Costanza, the loser, Cosmo Kramer, the bizarre friend, and Elaine Bennis, the shallow friend. Seinfeld first aired July 5th, 1989. It began with a rough start, but eventually turned into the wealth of references that we know and love today. Before Seinfeld, it was rare to see a recurring story in a sitcom. This influenced other sitcoms to have recurring stories such as Friends, How I Met Your Mother, and The Big Bang Theory. TV is filled with stories that cannot be lived or related to. However, Seinfeld is a story with experiences that most everyone can relate to. Even today, the show is making money by the reruns after its finale about 30 years ago. Seinfeld has made an amazing impact on pop culture because we can relate everything back to it. Double tipping, waiting for a table at a restaurant, etc. Most sitcoms focus on the characters fixing their problems, while Seinfeld shows us their problems aren't usually fixed. Instead of sharing life lessons to solve our problems, Seinfeld shares the risks we might take to solve our problems. For example, in the episode The Revenge, Jerry suspects the laundromat owner stole his money. Yet even, Kramer decides to put cement in a washing machine. The show showcases the characters to be anti-hero. They do not show any moral values and are painted as self-centered people. I decided to interview my father because he has a better understanding of the show and its influence on TV and our pop culture. How does the show relate in real life?
Well, when you watch the show, you can see it as a comedy, and you think it's funny. And you can't ever see that happening in real life, though. But then in real life, you pick up the pieces of what happened in the actual show, and it makes you say, "Whoa, that's a Seinfeld."
How did it differ from other shows at the time?
Well, as far as the comedy, it had an underlining story that went throughout the series, and it didn't try to really teach you anything. It was purely a show about nothing.
How did it impact your life?
It impacted me in my humor. I'd say my humor is similar to what you'd see in a Seinfeld episode. It's the only show I watch multiple times.
Do you see it as a part of our culture?
Yeah, definitely. I see it referenced in other shows. I see it referenced by my friends or my colleagues, and I know I reference it.
Overall, the show about nothing changed a lot about TV and impacted pop culture. Perhaps it will influence future sitcoms.